Welcome to Burning Bright, a weekly podcast presenting poetry and prose from Passager. Passager started this Burning Bright podcast almost exactly a year ago, and we've produced 50 episodes, so it seems like an opportunity to look back and celebrate. But rather than looking back over this past year that so many of us would rather forget, I thought it might be fun to look back to Passager's beginnings back in 1990. In her letter to readers of that first issue, editor Kendra Kopelke introduced Passager this way.
Passager is a collection of personal voices that evoke the common experience of the passage of time, that express the strangeness and the challenge of human mortality. Our writers are, like ourselves, survivors. People who may have begun to write at age 5 or 40 or 75, and who are startled by what they have to say. We want you to wish you had written what you read in Passager, and we want Passager to make you want to write. We're eager to hear from you.
Editor Kendra Kopelke reading her letter to the readers of Passager's first issue in 1990. One of the writers in that first issue was former U.S. Poet Laureate Josephine Jacobsen. About writing, she said, "I work better the more I am confined and the less I am distracted. My ultimate place would be a closet." Here's Josephine Jacobsen's poem, Woods. I came out at 11 p.m. from light and voices and saw my right front tire mush on the ground. No moon, no flashlight. I knew the far path well, though the high sprinkle of stars failed to show it. Those shining nails scattered over space could not penetrate. There was no sight at all. I went blind, missed a turn, bumped a black tree in blackness, struck a root, tripped, stood still. Had no sense of the orient. It was 30 degrees, and I shook a little, just from cold and blackness and the great height of the trees around me. No gleam or call, only the small sounds. This went on, I think in circles. Dark came into me, till, cold in my lungs and heart, it sank me. If my ankle snapped like a stick, another shape would crowd that dark of root and rock and bowl. I put my invisible hands before my blind wide eyes and put one foot, towards something that silently receded. Then, in dark blown by leaves somewhere, a light winked and shivered. When I opened my cabin door, when the lamp sprang under my finger and warmth came up and over me, I thought I had left those trees to watch the dark, but found later I had brought a little inside. It must have been durable, because I have it, and look at certain things and people differently. Josephine Jacobsen's poem, Woods, from Passager's first issue. Here's another poem from that issue, a sonnet, For the Ages, by Judson, Jerome. You snap me writing verses at my desk, my cursor dancing on a chip of quartz, though I am not exactly picturesque, decked out in naught but glasses and my shorts. Or I snap you out hoeing lima beans, catching you sweaty, soiled, with tousled hair, bent to your work in floppy paint-stained jeans, while I immortalize your derriere. We bought the camera for we thought we should have one to take to China. And besides, at our age, we believe it would be good to let grandchildren see how youth abides when love makes all the biosphere Edenic, and we, like them, are cute and photogenic. For the Ages, Part 1 of a 3-part poem, The Grandparents, by Judson, Jerome, from Passager's first issue way back in 1990. Judson Jerome wrote Writer's Digest's poetry column for 30 years, and back when he was teaching, his students included Mark Strand and Gregory Orr. This episode featured work from Passager Issue 1, published in 1990. 31 years later, Passager is still going strong. Issue 71, featuring the 2021 Poetry Contest winners, will be coming out later this summer. To subscribe to or learn more about Passenger and its commitment to writers over 50, go to passengerbooks.com. You can download Burning Bright from Spotify, Apple and Google Podcasts, and various other podcast apps. For Kendra, Mary, Christine, Roseanne, and the rest of the Passenger staff, I'm John Shore.